Now, think of Earth's orbit and you'd likely imagine endless expanses of open space, but it seems the reality is very different. Tens of thousands of pieces of space debris are circling the planet at high speed, threatening to strike satellites and even bring down the International Space Station. RT's Neil Harvey explains.
Man down. These scenes from the Oscar-winning film Gravity depict a disaster in which space debris leads to the destruction of the International Space Station. But this tale of fiction could be closer to fact than many of us realise. According to a recent meeting of space and technology experts in the US, it's not a question of if, but more of when such a disaster might happen if action isn't taken. To discuss this matter further, I'm joined by Vladimir Agapa from the Keldysh Institute at the Russian Academy of Sciences. Vladimir, thanks so much for coming in.
Hi, Neil.
Do you think, first of all, that a disaster like this is actually possible? Could space debris potentially destroy the International Space Station?
Potentially, yes, but the probability is not so high, and depends on how we will proceed with this issue into the future. But fortunately, we can move ISS if we discover that some debris can hit it. Sometimes we even have not enough time to move the ISS, and the only solution is to put astronauts into the re-entry capsule and to prepare to the
very worst
case. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. It sounds worrying. These things go extremely fast, 30 to 40,000 kilometers an hour. So these are extremely dangerous objects, regardless of size, I presume.
Yeah, if you will be hit by a large object, like 10-meter size, then you know what will happen. But the same will happen if you will be hit even by a smaller one, or say 1 centimeter size, because the effect will be like a head-on collision of a large truck and a car moving 60 kilometers per hour each.
Now, there has been an example of a collision in space. It wasn't involving the ISS, but it was a big event. It was in 2009. Let's listen to Holger Krag from the European Space Agency about what he had to say. Yep.
We had the wake-up call in 2009 when two objects collided. This was the American Iridium satellite and the Cosmos 2251 satellite. And they released 3,000 pieces of debris. And that made it clear that we have to do something in order to remove objects that we used from space after operations.
OK, so that was back in 2009, 5 years ago. You could call that a warning. What has been done, if anything, since then to change the situation?
Unfortunately, it's not possible to achieve a short-term say success and have the same success in the long term if it is not well planned ahead.
So what you're saying is this takes a lot of time, a lot of planning. There are no quick solutions.
Unfortunately not.
If nothing happens, what happens next? Let's listen to what Holger thinks.
The forecast is very frightening. If we continue to do spaceflight in the way we do it now, we will have what we call a collisional cascading effect. That means in the low Earth orbit region, everything below 2,000 kilometers, the density of objects is so high that we expect to have a collision roughly every 5 years.
Holger actually went on to say that, in his opinion, if nothing is done about this, 100 years from now, space exploration and travel could actually be impossible. Would you agree with that? Do you think that's going too far?
Yes, I agree that the density of population of space debris at some orbital regimes already reached the level very close to critical one when the so-called cascade effect or analog of chain reaction may happen. That means that smaller debris hitting larger pieces of debris, they fragmented and creating more smaller
debris,
pieces, and those small pieces hitting other larger, and so on and so on.
Fascinating to get your insight, Vladimir Agapa. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Neil.